What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing an action hero, and this is a bit of a different kind of review for me today because an action hero is actually the first big budget film I have ever been on set for. It's the first film set I've ever been on that wasn't one of my own short films or feature films, and so it was just such an eye-opening experience and such a fun experience to be a part of. Now, an action hero is shot in the UK and it's shot where I live on the Isle of Wight. Now in the film it's labelled as Portsmouth, despite just being a ferry's hop over to the Isle of Wight, which is where it actually is. But yeah, I was in two shots, split second, blink and you'll miss it. You wouldn't notice it if you weren't looking for it, sort of thing. But I'm in two shots, one where Ayushmann Khurrana is walking down Ventnor seafront and I'm just off to the right, and then once again for a brief montage clip where two policemen are investigating the whereabouts of Manav, and my face, slightly pixelated, can be seen in the background. I'm in my first feature film. It was such a cold day, such a long day, and ultimately quite a chaotic day of shooting. They were shooting quite a few different bits. Now that I've seen the film, they were shooting snippets from kind of different montages that get dripped into the film throughout. So there was a lot to kind of cover for them, and it's interesting to see what made the cut, what didn't make the cut. But we are also here to objectively review the film, and having seen it now, they got a few screenings of it because it was shot locally at our local cinema. It is bad. It is not a great film by any means. It's got a certain novelty, seeing your kind of hometown and places you recognise and people you recognise being in it, and I think for that I'll never be able to hate it. But I think if it didn't have those slightly biased factors to it, I would be hating on this film quite hard. It's very poorly written. Like, the main character, Manav, he's supposed to be this big, Indian superstar action hero, and then the journey's supposed to transition him into a kind of real life action hero. He gets embroiled in this big plot. But from A to B, the character really has no change. In fact, he spends most of the time kind of insisting and persisting that he didn't kill this person. And despite it being manslaughter, he definitely did. And so I'm not sure whether we're supposed to feel pity for him, we're supposed to be compelled by him, but at no point was I emotionally invested in this character, who at no point seemed to accept the responsibility for his own actions. And there was just all sorts of kind of corny, tacky dialogue that just really lent the film no depth whatsoever. It was fun. At times, it was really funny. I always love the music in Indian films. And there is some well-staged, if a bit cliche, over-the-top action. But ultimately, this film is just nothing to write home about. It is probably as generic as its title would suggest. A fun adventure at times with some good little comedic moments dropped in throughout. A bit too sparing considering it is a 2-hour, 10-minute film. But overall, it was an okay experience. Much more fun to be a part of than to watch. But if you have seen this film, I would be very intrigued to know if you agree, disagree. Please also consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That's always a huge help for me. And in the meantime, we will see you for the next vid.